Attention, middle school staff, our welcome back assembly will be starting in 1 minute. 1 minute warning, middle school staff, please get to your Zoom meetings in 1 minute.
Good morning, Ferndale. My name is Mrs. Layton, and I'm the principal at Vista Middle School. We're very excited for this new school year, even though it's going to look a little bit different, or maybe a lot different. We're very excited to have you back.
Hello, I'm Mr. Rodriguez, principal of Horizon Middle School. Welcome Vista Vikings and Horizon Hornets to the 2020-2021 school year. We're so excited to have you back this year.
Hello, middle school students. I'm Ms. Basola, and I'm the assistant principal at Vista Middle School. Welcome to our new school year.
Hello, Horizon and Vista middle schoolers. I'm Mr. Cagley, Horizon assistant principal. Great to see you. We're going to have a great year.
So it's that time of year again, when we get back into the school and we get back into the swing of things. Think about where you were at this time last school, probably walking through the hallways extremely annoyed because the most commonly asked question was, how was your summer? So let's pretend that we all spent a day together at the beach, and maybe your day at the beach looked a little something like this.
I'm sure that some of you are experiencing mixed emotions as we get closer to being in class. Perhaps you're feeling nervous about academics or even Zoom meetings. Ugh. Or maybe you're unsure about your internet connection or even meeting new people. Some of you may even be feeling a little bit scared about your health, starting school, or maybe because you're new to our school altogether. As teachers and administrators, we also go through some of those feelings. I have a little secret. I'm new to my school. And I can say I'm a little bit freaked out. Don't worry, because one thing I'm sure of is that we will work through these things together. It's going to be okay. You got this.
So here's a snapshot of what our week is going to look like over the next few days. We start each day with a 30-minute assembly, followed with an independent work assignment for students. You'll also have, during this week, a conference with your advisory teacher. Know that if you have any questions about this week, you can reach out and ask your advisory teacher. Then on Tuesday, we start our online learning in Zoom and Canvas.
As we look ahead to remote learning this year, it's important to remember we can do hard things. It's a challenging year for us all, kids, parents, and staff, for we are having to learn new ways to communicate and learn remotely. Believe in yourself, you can do hard things. If you can't figure out something, reach out to someone you think might know. Don't give up when it gets tough. Remember, you can do hard things. We hope you enjoyed the following related video.
Hello, I'm Dr. Khalid Mumin, and welcome to the 2020-2021 school year. As we all know, we are living in unprecedented times, and I believe it's appropriate for me to begin with one of my favorite poems, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could.
I got this stuck. Have you heard of Kid President? Well, I'm Kid Superintendent, and I think we all need a pep talk. Testing. The past couple of months haven't been easy, huh? A global pandemic, politics, social unrest, earthquakes, fire, tornadoes, Tiger King! No! That show is not what I thought it was about. Your glasses bugging up when you wear a mask. Fighting over get the idea. 2020 has been kicking our butt. I can say butts, right? It's okay to feel overwhelmed right now, or anxious, or nervous about remote learning. Your Bitmojis look awesome, by the way. Maybe you're worried about students. I'm worried about myself and everybody else. But remember, we're all doing the best we can, and that's all that matters. Kids aren't looking for perfection. We're just looking for you to be present. I know that because I'm a kid. So let's be good humans. Unless if you're an insect or blowfish. And sprinkle kindness. By the way, I hate sprinkle. And let's give each other grace, not grief. We're all in this together. And we've got to support each other. Air hugs! But you know this already because that's what people do. You're resilient and resourceful. When times get tough, you know how to pull together. No cap. And there's still plenty of good stuff in the world, right? Like cinnamon toast crunch. I see you. And Cheer from Cheer, he's awesome. And Lizzo, my mom likes her music a lot. A lot. And funny TikTok videos. And Sharpie, you gotta love those. And we've got you. You are good. No, scratch that. You are great. We need you here. No matter your job, you each have something special and amazing to offer. You can do virtually anything. Get it? Virtually? It's a joke. Seriously, you can do this. You are the champion Rita Pearson was talking about. I believe in you, and I know you'll stay RSD proud no matter the distance. It's kind of like Doc was trying to say. Two roads diverged in a wood, and right now we gotta take the one less travel. You know, uncharted territory and all. I know it might get a little scary, actually a lot scary. But you got this. Put on your favorite fuzzy socks. No one can see your feet on Google Meets, but definitely still wear your pants. And press forward with the positive attitude. It's gonna make all the difference.
We all can do hard things, but sometimes we need extra help. Know there are staff at both Vista and Horizon that can help. We are going to meet them right after the next video.
Find something you love to do. Do it every day. Be obsessed. Balance can come later. Use your imagination. Put pen to paper. Declare your intentions. Set small goals. Knock them off, set more goals.
You have a lot of potential as a child, but none of that is capable of manifesting itself as freedom before you become disciplined.
Build confidence. Grow a deep belief. Outwork people. Play the long game. You don't have to be the chosen one. The secret is to build the resolve and spirit to enjoy the plateaus. The times when it doesn't feel like you're improving and you question why you're doing this. If you're patient, the plateaus will become springboards. Finally, never stop striving, reaching for your goals until you get there. But the truth is, even when you get there, even when you get here, standing on this stage, it's the striving, fighting, pushing yourself to the limit every day that you'll miss and you'll long for.
If you want to be a grocer or a general or a politician or a judge, you will invariably become it. That is your punishment. If you never know what you want to be, if you live what some might call the dynamic life, but I will call the artistic life, if each day you are unsure of who you are and what you know, you will never become anything, and that is your reward.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your Your life is just to live your life inside the world. Try not to bash into the walls too much. Try to have a nice family life. Have fun. Save a little money. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you.
How many of us, I wonder, can recall that childhood moment when we experienced happiness as a state of being, that single moment of untarnished joy, that moment when everything in our world, inside and out, was all right. Everything was all right.
Good morning, middle school students. Welcome back to school. First and foremost, I think what we all know and understand is we are learning to teach and receive information in a new way. Wanted to start off by apologizing. Saw a lot of comments in our chat that went to the panelists that we may not have been able to hear, and our videos were a little muffled and the presentation was a little muffled. But just like you, we're also learning how to do these hard things. So we will work on this for our presentation tomorrow. But I also wanted to let you know that this afternoon, this same webinar will be uploaded to our district website, and you will be able to view it from there as well. So with that, we would like to start with some introductions. Mr. Rodriguez, would you like to start?
Absolutely. Good morning, Horizon and Vista Middle School students and community. My name is David Rodriguez, and again, you heard that in the presentation. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. I am the new principal at Horizon Middle School. I'm super excited to be here this year and work with you and get to know some of you. I'm even going to be more excited once we're able to have you in our building. So it's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Mr. Saunders.
Good morning, Vista and Horizon. Welcome to middle school. We are all excited to be back. I am looking forward to connecting with the 6th graders and to reconnect with the 7th and 8th graders. We've missed you. As Mrs. Layton said, my name is Mr. Saunders, and my position at both schools is interventionist. I intervene to help you in any way I can. I'd like to wish you a happy, fantastic first day of school, and we can do this.
Thank you, Mr. Saunders. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Black?
Yeah, this is Mr. Black. Welcome back, you guys. We miss you guys so much. I'm the school counselor at Vista Middle School, and just wanted to tell you guys a bit about what I do. You'll hear more from us on Friday at Friday's webinar, but I do scheduling with kids to make sure in the right classes, help kids with anything around stress that might have to do with home or school, peer relationships. And so we hope to be working with you this year, and we look forward to a good year together. But again, you'll hear more from us on Friday's webinar. So welcome, Vista and Horizon.
Thank you, Mr. Black. Ms. Basola.
Good morning, Vista and Horizon middle schoolers. Glad that you're here. I know I've been trying to stay up on the question and answers. You know, as Ms. Layton said, we'll work on the video quality. Thanks for being patient with all of us. It's good to see you here this morning.
Ms. Deerstein.
Good morning. I'm the counselor at Horizon Middle School, and it's really awesome. I was looking at the participant names, and it was really awesome to see so many familiar names. I can't wait to get in touch with a lot of you, and I'm happy to see you all here. Looking forward to another school year. Like Mr. Black, I have similar roles at Horizon, and I know a lot of students have questions right now about their actual schedule and who their teachers are. And among other things, that will be a main part of my role right now this time of the year, is getting all that straightened out. So really great to see all those names out there. Can't wait to see faces. So
good. Thank you. Mr. Kegley, would you like to introduce yourself? You're on mute. Mr. Kegley, you're on mute.
All right, I'm still learning Zoom too. I'm Mr. Kegley. I'm the assistant principal at Horizon Middle School. I've been in the Ferndale School District for 20 years, so I probably have had some of your parents as students. I've worked at Ferndale High School, Windward High School, and now I'm at Horizon. And this, I would say, is the most unusual first day of school I've ever experienced. Great to see you, and I'm here to help you solve your problems and be successful.
Good, thank you. So we're gonna open up our chat. You may have some questions, we may have some answers. We're all doing our best. We have a lot of questions in our chat right now about primarily being able to hear and video quality, and that seems to be the theme in the chat thus far. But we will be online here for a few more minutes. If you have a question specifically that you might want answered in the next few minutes, feel free to ask. But before we do that, I did want to remind you, if you haven't already, we're expecting families to sign up for a 30-minute conference with their advisory teacher. So if you haven't done that, please log into Skyward and schedule a conference with your advisory teacher. Also wanted to give you an overview of what tomorrow's assembly is going to look like. Tomorrow, Mr. Kegley and Ms. Pasola will be covering things like internet safety, going over Canvas, Ingenuity, Zoom, digital citizenship, more of the technology pieces. On Friday, our counselors will be talking with students and families about schedule changes, support staff, college bound, building expectations, online expectations, and things like that. So if you have any questions, we'll be here if you want to put something in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer that.
And I just want to add, it's going to be so important that you attend those conferences, simply because there's a lot of information that's going to be shared there. If you're new to our building, or if you're new to Vista, if you're a sixth grader, there's so much information that's going to be shared in those conferences. I mean, there's going to be great information for everybody, regardless of the grade level, but there's going to be good information about attendance. There's going to be some good information about meals. There's going to be other information about schedules. What does it look like? What are some of the platforms we're utilizing? You're going to hear something called Ingenuity. You're going to learn about Zoom. I mean, there's just a wealth of information. So we highly encourage, if you haven't signed up for those conferences, please make sure that you do so, and make sure that you attend those. Now, if you are having connection issues with logging on and utilizing Zoom and meeting with your teacher via conferences, let your teacher know. Call the school, and then you can also do it over the phone. That is totally fine. We want to make sure that everybody gets the information that they need and that they feel ready to start.
Can we go ahead and answer some questions that I saw?
Sure.
There was one question about Ingenuity, and students we don't have the passwords and logins for students yet. So students are wondering about, where's my password and login? You'll get them from your teacher. I'm not sure exactly which teacher, but you'll get them from your teacher when we get them. And the other question was about what this week I need to attend, and I know we've already said it, but you attend the webinars each morning and then a conference with your teacher. So that's the only expectations that I understand for this week for students. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody else, but I just saw those questions earlier.
Okay.
And the sound was bad for all of us, just so you'll know. Like, I couldn't understand anything either. So I think a lot of us were in the same boat, so you were not alone.
Mr. Rodriguez and Ms. Hosel, can you check the settings on the chat? I'm getting some comments that chat's disabled. Again, we're all learning, so thank you for being patient with us. Nothing like running your very first webinar on the very first day of remote online pandemic learning. We're all learning.
Hey, we had a question out there. Somebody was curious about how many participants are joined with us right now.
Right now we're at 685.
Yep. And the chat's off because it's the Q&A that we want students to use. Mm-hmm. So you have, or adults, if it might be teachers and parents, sorry about that. Yep. So that's where we want questions to be. And I'm just going to do it if I see anything else.
So we can see your questions on our end. Ms. Layton and I and the rest of the panelists can see the questions that you post on the chat. So feel free to just type in your questions in there and we can see them on our end. And we want to make sure that we have the opportunity to answer those for you.
So there's a question here. How do we know who our teachers are?
I can answer that unless I've already talked, so I feel kind of like I'm dominating. But you should have a login for Skyward, and your login for your device, and a Skyward login. And when you log into Skyward, you'll be able to see your schedule there. And if it's blank, let us know. And if that doesn't answer your question, I would say call your office or whatever school you attend, and one of the secretaries there can help you.
Here's a good question. After the conference with our advisory, are we done for the day?
So your schedule this week during conferences, your assignments, we sent a letter home to parents and we outlined what the assignments were. So the assignments this week is to attend your 30-minute conference, do 30 minutes of reading, and we also emailed you some tutorials that wrapped around Zoom and Skyward and Ingenuity and Canvas. Your job is to practice those. Am I missing anything, Mr. Rodriguez?
No, that sums it up. So again, those tutorials are very important.
Yep, so practice those tutorials. That's the bulk of your assignment, is to get familiar with those platforms. And then the fourth thing that is your assignment this week and counts as your attendance is logging into these webinars. So those are your 4 things this week. And during your conference, your teacher will scribe to you what your days look like after that.
Here's another good question, and I suspect some other students may have the same computer issue. This is a student from Vista. My computer issued from Vista does not allow me to access Zoom. I had to watch it from my mom's laptop. I got an error message. What do I do?
Ms. Basola, would you like to answer that, please?
I'm sorry, I was doing the questions. What was the chat?
Zoom is not working on a student issued computer from Vista, wondering what he should do.
I would do, it's actually 2 steps, is that I would go ahead and refresh the Zoom link that you used this morning because there was so much problems with the buffering and the lagging and that. So I would refresh it. And then if it's still not working for you, turn it all the way off and then turn it back on. And then if it's still not working for you, bring it to the Vista main office.
There's another question in here, and it says, what will our time look like after 3rd period? So I believe that that's asking when you have a 1, 2, 3 or a 4, 5, 6 class in the morning, what is your assignment in the afternoon? Would you like to answer that, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yeah, so, and this will be shared in the conferences, and it'll also be shared in with your advisory teacher, and every teacher will go over this as well. So the mornings, you have 3 mandatory check-in meetings, your mandatory check-in classes, where you're gonna have some live learning with the teacher. The teacher is gonna be hosting some Zoom meetings with every student. And then in the afternoon, it is the student's responsibility to also check into on their Canvas for the additional courses, because there's gonna be some assigned work for the other 3 courses. So in the afternoon, you use the afternoon for that. You use the afternoon to complete any work from the morning. And then you can use the afternoon to also check in with any of your teachers for support.
And then there's some questions in here like, I can't see my classes. I don't know how to get into Skyward. And so I wanted to let you know that our first line of defense for technology issues is to call or email your advisory teacher. And they will help you troubleshoot as much as they can. And if they are not able to help you solve the problem, then we have a process to refer the situation to a higher level of help. So if you have one of those technology questions, I can't get into Skyward, I can't see my classes, my microphone doesn't work, I don't know my password, all those things go to your advisory teacher.
And I want to remind those that are watching that a lot of these questions that are being asked are also going to be covered during your conference time. So again, it's going to be very important to attend and participate in those, because a lot of this information is also going to be covered there.
Yeah.
The other thing, someone asked about a schedule change. We'll cover that a little bit more on Friday, but what you want to do in the meantime, students and parents, is call or email Ms. Deerstein or I and we can initiate that change depending on whether we can do that or not in the schedule. So if you could email us, it's mine is michael.black, and then Martha, do you want to tell them your email address? And then for now, you could email us.
Yeah, and I know a lot of our students have been emailing their advisory teachers as well. They're the because they can answer some of those questions. But mine is martha.deerstein, because it's all emails are all their first name and then our last name, first name dot last name at ferndalesd.org. And what I've seen a lot of questions asking about electives. So I know we're going to talk about that on Friday, but can I go ahead and answer that here, which is, at least at Horizon Middle School, we have consolidated some of our classes. So in 7th and 8th grade, the options are band and choir. In 6th grade, it's a more introductory to music. And then our, quote, normal, regular elective teachers like, you know, Mrs. Friend, McDowell, Lego, excuse all of the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade elective teachers that would normally, in a typical year, be doing art or STEM. They are going to be teaching a, it's called different things at Vista than it's called at Horizon, but they're doing a, at Vista it's called the Viking Way, and Horizons is going to be called Middle School Success. And it's kind of giving students another place to get support, because we heard loud and clear that students felt pretty overwhelmed in the spring. Support and just how do I do this online learning thing, as well as doing some fun, more social emotional activities, and doing some more supplemental, more like STEM, maybe some other like STEM or art, whatever activities that teacher usually taught, until we figure out, you know, because we don't know when we're coming back to school, and that's in building. And I'm hearing that question being asked a lot from students. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, just feel free to jump in. I just saw that asked a lot, and it's a big question students have.
And briefly, And then briefly at Vista, it's very similar. We do offer that last class that Ms. Deerstein just mentioned around, it's like a study hall advisory class where they do a number of different general things. And then also we have a Lummi language and cultures class.
Right.
And then 6th grade, we have a general music class. And then 7th and 8th grade, it's specific music classes of orchestra, choir, band. So just be aware of that in terms of possible schedule changes. But email us in the meantime in terms of any requests that you have. We'll cover this more on Friday.
Students were also wondering if they needed to stay on if they didn't have any more questions.
Nope, if you don't have any more questions, you're free to log off. I do want to let all the participants know and remind you that this is being recorded, and it will be uploaded to the district website this afternoon. And so if it was lagging or you couldn't hear very clearly, there will be a better quality version of that uploaded and placed on our district website this afternoon. But other than that, that's all that we have for today, and you may log off if you want to. We'll stay here for a few more minutes, and we will see you tomorrow morning, unless you have more questions.
I have a good question here. Can you see what kids are on here like for attendance purposes? So I think the question is asking, are you taking attendance for this, or how is attendance being taken for this week?
Your attendance this week comes from attending the webinars. Your attendance this week comes from attending your conferences. And your attendance this week comes from knowing that that you opened that email with the tutorials on it. That's for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. When you get to your conference, your teacher will explain to you how attendance is taken starting Tuesday through the rest of the school year, which is very different than what it looks like for these 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you have not scheduled those conference times, please make sure that you reach out to your advisory teachers right away, or call the office if you need help with that. Make sure you attend those. There's some very important information that's going to be shared during that conference time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to echo what Ms. Layton has already said, that this is being recorded. I'm fortunate on my end that on my audio, it actually sounds pretty good, and this is the computer that it's being recorded on. So I'm hoping that everything that has been recorded will be nice and clear for when we post it on the website. That's our goal.
David, did you want to touch on really quickly the attendance piece? how we're taking attendance and that students are required to attend all 6 classes,
Yeah,
but in different ways?
Yeah, so I'll explain that again. So every student has to check into all 6 of their classes. You go to 3 mandatory classes every morning. So you're gonna either, on Mondays, you're going to start with first, second, and third period, and those start on the hour. Your first one will be at 9 o'clock, and then followed by 10, and then an 11. And then in the afternoon, it's going to be so important that you check in the afternoon, that you log into your other 3 classes on Canvas. That's how we're going to be tracking attendance. So that's going to be very, very important that you do. We highly encourage that you do that during the school day. Remember, the school day ends at 3 o'clock. So it's going to be important that in the afternoon that you log into your other 3 courses by 3 o'clock, because that's when the cutoff date is for the day. Now, if you, for whatever reason, you cannot do that during the regular school day and you happen to log in after 3 p.m., that, we're going to also be able to track that information as well. But again, we highly encourage that you log into your afternoon classes in the afternoon by 3 p.m.
And then I'm getting some questions about how to sign up for a conference. So if you haven't signed up for a conference yet, your job is to email your advisory teacher. The advisory teachers have already sent out an email explaining to students and parents how to sign up. But if you did not receive that email, look at your schedule and email your advisory teacher, and they will make contact with you and help you schedule a conference.
Yep. And if you need help, just call the office. Yep. Again, keep in mind that some of you are new to our buildings. For 6th graders, if you didn't get an email or just something happened and you didn't get that communication, just call our office so we can help you with that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She was here till late last night answering questions. So I'll just plug for Mrs. Leamer. Try to remember what the other questions were. And if there's any problems with logging in, I guess the other question that I've gotten a lot is I'm a student. If I'm a student, I've logged onto my Canvas, but I don't see all of my classes on Canvas. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand that it's probably because those teachers haven't opened them to publish. They're probably all created in Canvas, but they haven't published them yet, so you can't see them yet. Mm-hmm. That's how I understand it to work. So I know that's true for when I create a Canvas page.
Okay. Does anybody have any closing statements? Mr. Saunders? You're muted.
Have a great day. Have a great first day of school and also the first week of school.
Mr. Black?
Watch us on Friday. We'll tell you a little bit more, touch base about just ways that we can support you in terms of various things we're going to do throughout the year. But really looking forward to working with you guys this year. Thank you.
Ms. Deerstein?
I think I would say this is the year that I'm learning to be flexible and patient both. Patient with myself and patient with everybody around me. So just know that, everyone is in the we're all in different boats, but the same boat. We're all just trying real hard. So we're here. So,
Ms. Basola?
Hey, we'll see everyone tomorrow. Thanks for being here today.
Mr. Kegley? You're muted.
If you didn't get your question answered, we want to let you know that we'll be looking at all these questions and following up with answers tomorrow. And with that said, a lot of the adults are learning this technology right now, learning Zoom, they're learning Edgenuity, we're learning Canvas. We have our experts in the district, but we need your help, and we know you're good at technology. So help your parents out, help your teachers, and help us, and we will get this done and learn it all so we can have a really smooth learning year remotely.
Good. Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez?
Hey, it's been a pleasure. I'm super excited for this school year. This year it's going to be definitely about collaboration and working together, we're going to figure how to make sure that we understand and know how to use these platforms and use them to our advantage. So I'm super excited about that.
Good. So with that being said, just a reminder, we are all learning together. Remember to give yourself grace, be patient with yourself, take lots of breaks, reach out to your advisory teacher, call the front office. We have all the same resources to help support and problem solve, just as if we were in the building. It just takes a little bit, a different style of networking those support services, but we have them available and we are here to help. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and sign off, and we will see you tomorrow morning at 8:30. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.